My life has never been better. I've never been in such a amazing position in life. But I still wake up angry, irate even. I still wake up with this deep sense of everything's not how I need it. Is that good or is that bad? In your eyes, is that a blessing or a curse? Is it a vice or a virtue? I know that it's both, depending on how I react to it. How I react to my inherent anger and rage is how it'll suit me. We all have these underlying traits. It doesn't matter what they are. We build strength by restraining the fact that we want to fall into it. If I fell into that anger and rage and had a reaction that had an outcome that I didn't desire, well, then my anger and rage did not benefit me. If my anger and rage was so massive, so nearly debilitating in the morning to where I'm sitting there and there's people around me, I'm like, I just want to throw my phone in that fuck's face. I want to smack the shit out of this motherfucker. I want to stomp this dude's head in. I want to put this dude's legs on the curb and break them backwards. I wouldn't give a fuck. Fuck these bitches, motherfuckers. Like, I literally have those thoughts. They're so bad. And the fact that now I restrain them and I don't go to prison, I know it's strength. Most people are like, that's just crazy. You're a liability. But guess what? If something was about to happen to you, the person who thinks that my anger and my violence is a liability, if something was going to happen to you and I was there, you bet to God it wouldn't happen. I put myself right in front of that shit. Wouldn't even think twice, motherfucker. And that's what's wrong with the world. We're all denouncing others' gifts. It's a gift to be that violent, that angry, and that capable of stopping anyone, without any regard for self, which I am, and I will, and I have. I didn't go to prison for 10 years for missing a fucking Boy Scout meeting. You get me? A lot of people talk about what they're willing to do, but they've never had to pay the consequences and been okay with it and thrived from it. So that's the difference. But that's the problem, is we're all denouncing everybody's gifts because we're only seeing their gift, which comes in the form of a hindrance almost when not adhered to correctly through lack of awareness and maturity. So no matter what your problem is, it can be used correctly to suit you. It's actually a gift sent to you to understand through your level of heightened awareness so that later in life you realize everything that you thought was a hindrance was your greatest gift. It's right there. It's right there. So if you're a naturally introverted individual who only worries about self a lot and you don't outwardly step out to help others, well then when your awareness rises and you see this, you restrain the desire to fall back into your introverted patterns and you stand the fuck up and you decide to choose other people over this supposed hindrance. Now that builds strength because you've restrained the desire to fall into your comfort zone that suits your natural state. This is how we all grow. And my natural state is extreme violence, anger, and aggression. People are like, oh, that's a problem. No, it's not. I'm so blissful right now. The law of polarity states that. To know the highest form of bliss and enlightenment, you would have to know the deepest form of negativity, rage, and just those low frequency emotions, which I know very well. I'm complete contrast. I experience everything from each side of the spectrum every day. I actually read a lot about people who have been in extreme isolation. So when you've been in isolation for a long time, like I have, you suffer from what's called, or you experience what's called cyclical emotions. So I experience my emotions in one day. I experience the array of emotions every day. So I can get really good at negating them, controlling them, and using them to my benefit. You guys don't experience your emotions cyclical like I do because of long-term incarceration and isolation. You guys experience your emotions in a longer chain of about a week. You know, you'd have to like document yours. So you'll probably go like 3 days of elation, like 3 days of borderline depression, like 3 days of like a mundane, like slight motivated state, and then back to your state of elation. And so that's how you would experience everything over the span of like a week or 2 weeks, some people a month. But me, I experience it every day. Like extreme anger, extreme elation, extreme, and it's all in the same day. It helps me to not forget that it's coming again. The anger is coming again, and you need a plan, Wes. This is what made me so good at mindset training. Because geniuses are proactive. Amateurs are reactive. You guys stay reactive because you think it's not going to come again because there's such a long lapse in time. But my other people who really experience the same shit every day, you can get very good at it by having a plan in place. You need a plan in place. You need a fail safe. So every time I get angry, I'll just do the push-ups or burpees or anything until I get through this. And it's the same thing as any negative state that I'm creating. Any negative internal state is just a notification for self-preservation. I need to get into flow state as quick as possible, away from that negative state that's building inside of me. I love you guys. I hope you understand this. And at the basis of everything, anytime you feel negative, just go into a positive act. You're never going to just think your way into positive thought. You're going to act your way into positive thinking. I love you guys. Let's go.